amazing parents. Welcome back to the Learning Cafe. I am Gerline, and on this channel, we offer an assortment of educational glows and grows for parents. So grab yourself a cup of coffee, listen and learn as I share a variety of tips to help guide your child's educational journey. So, our first and perhaps most crucial tip for summer planning is check in with your child's teacher. Now, I know some of you guys are already saying, well, the school year has already ended. How can I get in contact with the teacher? So, if you haven't done so already, which so to go back, I would advise you to do that before the year ends. However, if you haven't done so, it's not too late because most of the schools are open throughout the summertime, usually from 8 to 12. So if you have not withdrawn your child from the previous school, you can always go to the school's office and ask for the teacher. Now, if you email them, they may or may not answer. Or a lot of time, the school will have reading information or just preparation what to do to prepare your child for the next school year. So remember, checking in with your child teacher is always important. It is crucial because the teachers have a front row seat to your child's learning journey and they know exactly where your child stands academically. If you think about it, your child might have a few skills they have not quite mastered, or perhaps there are certain areas of weakness that could really benefit from a little extra attention, as we all can. This isn't about pushing them to do schoolwork all summer, but it's about being strategic. So remember, when you connect with with their teachers, ask them, are there specific skills that my child could work on over the summer? If you could find them through email, if you have done so already, go ahead and do so. And even if you're not able to get a hold of your child old teacher, you can always go on resources like IXL, Khan Academy. They have a lot of resources to either prepare them for the next school year or to check to see if there are specific skills that they need to work on. These resources can be very, very helpful for you to do so. Tip number two is incredibly important for maintaining sanity and productivity during the summer months. It is all about keeping a schedule. Let's be honest. One of the trickier aspects of summer is the lack of routine that the school day usually provides. If your child isn't in a structured summer camp, it's easy for routine to completely disappear out of the blue. So, for example, create a schedule and put it in a place everyone will see it. Something to think about as you're creating the schedule is to make sure that you keep it consistent throughout the week. So then the timing that you have for different activities are usually the same as you go throughout the week. Okay. Now, as you create the schedule, always include chores alongside fun activities on the schedule. So then they're not too bored at a certain time of the day, or they're not too structured at a certain time of the day. So you want to kind of mix and match the different fun activities and also the chores they have to do, including their schoolwork. Also, you want to make sure that the kids are checking each activity as they are being done. So it's easier to track, so then that way they know, okay, so I'm done with this one, then I need to move on to the next one. So then again, they're not too bored at a certain time of the day or too structured at a certain time of the day, and they can feel accomplished. So as they know that, you know what, I'm done with chore number two, then I need to move on to chore, or not really chore, sorry, to activity number two. So they check off activity number one. They do feel accomplished. Like, you know what, I have done something. And don't forget that routine. Make it consistent so then it's a routine for them, and that would help them throughout the next school year when they start school, to really, when they know they have things they have to do. Okay, I need to do my homework, then I need to check that off once it's been completed. And next thing you want to keep in mind is keep the schedule positive. Reward your children for following a daily routine with good behavior. For example, you can use stars for every item that your children do in their routine without complaint, and give them a certain reward, like a trip to get ice cream, after your children have accumulated a certain number of stars. That's just an idea. You also want to include wake up time and bedtime. When you do that, you keep these fairly consistent to maintain healthy sleep patterns, because again, throughout the school year, they wake up early, and they wake up early almost every morning. So just so that they at least get their 8 hours of sleep daily throughout the summertime. You want to make sure that on that schedule you have wake up and bedtime, and you also have activity blocks when they will have free play, because you don't have to have the whole day planned out. Keep that in mind. You don't your daily life throughout the summer do not have to be all planned out for, every second for. So again, you want them to have free time. You want them to have time to read, whether they like reading or not. They have to do it because that's very important. You want them to have a screen time, and also when chores are done, what do they do? And one of the most important part of the schedule is mealtime. You want to have consistent mealtime throughout the day, not only for the to establish that routine and that pattern, but also part of them being healthy, right? Because you don't want them eating too late throughout the day and certain things that they eat. So make sure that you do include mealtime, and if possible, you guys can work on the food items that are included in those meal times. So to recap, our first two essential summer planning tip is to check in with your child's teacher for a personalized academic insight. Number two is to establish a flexible but consistent summer schedule to bring structure to their days. Check out the links below for additional information on the tips provided. So, for those of you watching this video, what are your to go to summer planning strategies? Share them in the comments below. I'd love to hear from you. If you found these tips helpful, please give this video a thumbs up and subscribe for more valuable parenting insights. And stay tuned, because in our next video, we'll be sharing even more fantastic ways to make this summer fun, both fun and enriching for your children. Thank you.